Learning target number 2. I can recognize and represent proportional relationships between quantities. Success criteria number 1. I will find a constant when given a set of data in a table. Success criteria number 2. I will use the constant and one other measure to find a missing quantity. And success criteria number 3. I will define variables for a given problem and use them to describe proportional relationships. A new self-serve frozen yogurt store opened this summer that sells its yogurt at a price based upon the total weight of the yogurt and its toppings in a dish. Each member of Isabel's family weighed its dish, and this is what they found. Determine if the cost is proportional to the weight. So they give the weight and the cost. We have to define our variables. So, of course, the weight comes first, so we're going to call that the x, and the cost comes next, so we're going to call that the y. We always find our constant by having our y over our x. So we're going to divide 5 by 12.5. We're going to divide 4 by 10. We're going to divide 2 by 5. And we're going to divide 320 by 8. So I have to do each of those problems. I have to divide 5 by 12.5. So I have to move my decimal over. And I'll put a couple decimal places. So 125 into 500. And that goes 4 times. So that's 500. So my answer is 0.4. And then I go 4 divided by 10, my decimal point. So that's 0.4. And then 2 divided by 5, and that's 0.4. And then 8, into 3.20, and that's 0.4. So all of my answers come out to be 0.4. So is there a constant? Yes. Is it proportional? Yes. The cost is proportional to the weight. So we'll go to the next problem. During Jose's physical education class today, students visited activity stations. Next to each station was a chart depicting how many calories, on average, would be burned by completing the activity. Is the number of calories burned proportional to the time? How do you know? So let's define our variables. Again, x is first, so time is x, calories is y. And we have to divide y by x. Y divided by x. So we can divide it. 11 divided by 1 is 11. 22 divided by 2 is 11. 33 divided by 3 is 11. 44 divided by 4 is 11. And again, we get 11 every time. So the constant is 11. So yes, it is proportional. We can say the constant is 11. How many calories would Jose burn if he jumped for 6.5 minutes? Well, there we would have to use the constant to be able to find what the other number is. We'd have to go back to what our success criteria was, and our success criteria said that we would use the constant and one other number to find a missing number. So we would have to use the constant and the 6.5 to be able to find what the other number is. So to be able to find, we would take our minutes, our time, our x, and multiply by our 11. So 6.5 times 11, and we would have to multiply that. So 11 times 6.5 and we get 71.5 calories. And then to use this to be able to continue a pattern, a cran apple juice blend is a mixed ratio of cranberry to apple of 3 to 5. So we've got 3 cranberry to 5 apple. And then if we were to continue the pattern, then we would have 6 cranberry to 10 apple, and then 9 cranberry to 15 apple. Are the quantities proportional? And we can say yes, because the constant is 5/3. And if we divide those, we would get 5/3 every time.